I can't believe this. UCLA clips Penn State. What makes you of it?
I don't even really. Dude, I really have no idea how to talk about this game because it was one of those ones where you were tagging me and I was like, oh, cool. Nico's playing well. I didn't even have it on the screen when I was watching the early or it was the midday slate that this.
Yeah, the midday slate, the 2:30 slate. Yeah.
Blake, they lost this game because they came out and completely overlooked UCLA, which is 100% on James Franklin. And I got something that we're going to talk about a little later with him on if this is even redeemable. But they were so disjointed. There were unblocked defenders on a number of their key important plays, bad fumbles. They finally woke up in the third quarter when it was way too late. The decision-making and the play calling by Andy Kotelnicki made absolutely no sense. Right before the half, they were not showing urgency when they could have scored points. They also had an issue with just overall intensity when they needed it. Blake, a head coach's responsibility is to understand how to effectively put together a coaching staff, a roster that works hand in hand. And I look at this team, I see an offensive coordinator that has a quarterback that he doesn't know how to coach, that doesn't understand the situational awareness, and then a defensive coordinator that can't get his guys to lock in despite having an incredibly talented group. There's only one guy we really need to focus our energy on, and it's James Franklin. This has come to its head. There is no way through for James Franklin. This is not a Marcus Freeman loses to NIU type situation. He is way too deep into his career. Way too deep into his career for something like the worst team in Power 4. One of the worst teams in college football. This is a joke. Absolute joke.
All right, I got to talk about UCLA first. Sorry, I'll get to Penn State, but Joe, when Nico Iamaleava went to Tennessee, this is what people thought they were going to get from him. 17 of 24, 166, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries, 128 yards, and 3 scores. Quite frankly, that is what a 5-star quarterback looks like when he's running away from DBs. I felt like I saw a quarterback that loved what a guy was calling for him. By the way, speaking of that, Jerry Neuheisel is so new to play calling that there were plays where he had his microphone up and forgot to push the green button and didn't get the plays in, which he confirmed along with Nico at the end of the game. You had a guy, if you're Penn State, that had 2 days to prepare for you, a quarterback on critical downs who legitimately had to do and call his own plays because his coach, who is so new to this, didn't know what to do and forgot that he didn't have his microphone down, didn't realize he wasn't hitting the green button, and they ran all over you. They literally ran all over you. Joe, what part do you just say that we're going to keep a spy or a contain on Nico Iamaleava? What took you so long if you're Jim Knowles? You got out-coached. You're the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country, and you got out-coached by Jerry Neuheisel. How else do you categorize it? I got to give Nico a lot of credit, though, Joe. He said, look, Nico Iamaleava has taken a lot of criticism on this show, too, and deservedly so for a lot of it. Dude, that was some special shit. That was special. That dude did some things that not normal human beings can do. And you can say Penn State came out flat, yes, but so did their coaches. Like the beginning of the game, I thought Nico Iamaleava's first drive when they go up 7-0 was not only beautiful, but then the coaching staff to go for an onside kick and then get it. And then if you're James Franklin, how long have you been in coaching? This coaching staff is brand new. You don't think they wanted to come out and make a statement and that was something that they could do? I got to give UCLA a lot of credit, Joe. A lot of credit. They played harder than Penn State did. And they came out guns blazing, throwing punches all over the place. I just got to give them credit for what they did. They played very hard. They were not the better team. They're not the better team. But James Franklin last week lost to Oregon, and the question was that a turning point for them? And Joey, it kind of does. How do you allow Nico Iamaleava to do what he continued to do on you and not change things up? How does that even happen?
I mean, that's the unbelievable question, is that Nico in this UCLA offense was dead. It was immovable. It wasn't doing anything. And now all of a sudden, Neuheisel has this amazing game that he calls, and Nico's playing the freest that he's looked. And I give a lot of credit to Nico, by the way. That was the best performance that I've seen from him in the past, when he's been incredibly timid. He's looked incredibly soft. He didn't look like he really wanted to be out there at times. And I felt that he put his body on the line. I thought he completely fought as hard as he could to help produce that victory. Here's my big thing, Blake, with Franklin. If you can't win this game after losing to Oregon, which we provided our criticism to him for not being able to win top 10 games, to then show up this flat.
Skipper's got the same amount that he is. I saw that stat today. He's got the same amount of top 10 wins as James Franklin.
To have turned around and produced this is proof that he has hit his ceiling. He had stated that he believed he had one of his, or if not his, most complete team at Penn State. And they fell this short. Like, I think that they need to come to some sort of mutual parting of ways, some mutual agreement of parting of ways, because there is no way that he will ever get this team to a national championship. There's not. And if I'm James Franklin and I have any aspiration to eventually find success, I would want to see if I can do it in a different environment. Because I think that it gets to a certain point with some coaches that they can't win at a certain school. What's the point of staying? Getting a change of go ahead. What were you gonna say?
You mean like Brian Kelly?
Well, although he hasn't exactly worked out so much yet. But my whole point here, Blake, is that, like,
your point,
you're somewhere for long enough. Go somewhere different.
They've been together the same years, the same place, 11 years. I mean, I'm kind of trolling you, joking you, but I'm kind of not. The time for BK at Notre Dame had ran its course. Time for James Franklin's kind of ran its course. Joe, they didn't respond to him. They did not. Joe, you know how I know that this is a you problem? Last year's team going to USC, and then this year's team going to UCLA. And you almost got clipped by USC, and then you did get clipped by UCLA. You weren't ready. You weren't prepared. You were the most unprepared team in the country yesterday, it felt like. By the way, how is Drew Allar your leading rusher? How do you allow UCLA to run for 280 on you and go 10 of 16 on third down? Joe, it's more than just him. It's on his entire coaching staff. It's on Jim Knowles, who you made the highest paid guy in the country from a coordinator perspective. Joe, I feel like I'm seeing a team that all offseason read their news clippings. And what I mean by that is I don't know if they got really prepared. They had all the hype, and then it all came crashing down. Joe, this is the first time that you're seeing a team with this less coming into the season of question marks that has now more question marks than anybody. And they do. I still got to give Jerry Neuheisel and this staff for UCLA a lot of credit. But it just comes down to a point in time where I don't know that anybody knows what they're doing. Joe, they're 0-2 against the Big Ten. They're 0-2. You're halfway through the season, and you don't have a win against a Power 4 opponent. You're halfway through the season, Joe, and you don't have a win against a Power 4 opponent. We never thought that would be the case coming in for Penn State. I see a lot of people, for what it's worth, blaming Drew Allar in this game. Was he great? No. He didn't lose. He didn't give up 42 points. And how is he your I'm going to say it again. How is he your leading rusher? How? I mean, like, it's blasphemous to say that he gave up, like, he lost you the game. You gave up 42 points on the road to a team that barely could get past the 50-yard line against UNLV. Like, I'm sorry, Joe. I don't know what else to say. I just don't.
It's hit its ceiling. It's time for James Franklin to go somewhere else. And I don't know how that happens. He's got a $50 million buyout. I don't think that he would willingly give that up unless somebody aggressive came along and said they were going to give him more money and there was some sort of way to orchestrate.
Who would do that?
Arkansas. You don't think Arkansas wouldn't gladly hire James Franklin? I don't know about that, man. You don't think that they wouldn't?
No, I don't think that they
would.
He
won in the SEC before.
They would not do that. They would give it to Bobby Petrino before they would hire James Franklin.
Why do you... okay, I think I understand why. But I
mean, I'm not going to say...
I understand. Maybe what about Florida? Florida, I'm sure would consider
Philly's still winning and you're still trying to fire him, Joe.
I'm just saying that
Philly just beat a top 10 team and you want him fired.
LSU, as you just mentioned there, gave a huge contract to Brian Kelly after he had been successful at Notre Dame, but never was able to fully get the job done for the Fighting Irish. And they offered him a huge contract based off of what they thought he could do. USC did the same exact thing with Lincoln Riley.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know who that opening is.
That's not Arkansas. Those two places are not Arkansas.
I don't know how much money Virginia Tech has, but
Arkansas is just not the fit. You need to use another team because it's not. Because James would be an idiot to not retire because they're not. He's going to go out there and lose. They're not going to give him money. They're not going to give him NIL. It's a bad fit. He can go somewhere else. But I mean, Joe, here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. They're not technically out of this. I mean,
they're not going to the playoff.
Well, they're not technically out of it.
Let's be realistic. Okay, so they've got Indiana and Ohio State. They get Indiana at home, which is a winnable game for them, but they're not beating Ohio State. A 3-loss Penn State team. I don't think they are either.
It's not getting in.
Yeah, no.
You're staring down barrel of a gun. This is awful for them. And I don't know. They kind of feel a little stuck here. We'll see. All right.